In Dr. Zero's hideout within Pueblonia Mystery Forest, there was a fierce fight between Kakulus, Dr. Zero's Tech-Type Starmon and Acornid, one of the first-generation Starmons in Caesar. Lizzie and Felicia had nothing they could do, as they were still held hostage and all of their friends were hesitant to rescue them from the Tech-Type Starmon which they never knew before. Acornid used pistol punch but Kakulus blocked it with only one hand and tossed him down to the ground like a flail. Acornid wasn't hurt that hard as his body is made of rubber, but he was pissed off that he can't hit Kakulus hard. Acornid tried to use bazooka impact but Kakulus used techno shield to block the attack and used infra laser to zap Acornid that sent him crashing to the trees. Kakulus dashed to Acornid and hit him with techno punch to the face and pressed him down to the ground. Meanwhile, Pentid and Scourdle finished their job beating the Tech-Type Starmons and put out the fire from both towns. As they get to Dr. Zero's hideout, they encountered two Tech-Type Starmons blocking their way, Cybern, Taurus, and Disket, Scorpio. Acornid is struggling to fight back as Kakulus always gain the upper hand without hesitation for not letting Acornid had a chance to fight back. The battle turned into a merciless as Dr. Zero ordered Kakulus to show no mercy on Acornid no matter how long his opponent resisted, but Acornid never gives up till he stopped Dr. Zero, Kakulus, and the Tech-Type Starmons. Acornid got tired but never gives up as he has to keep fighting to protect his friends and to save Lizzie and Felicia. Meanwhile at the forest, Cybern evolved to Blasborg and Disket evolved Disker as they fought Scourdle and Pentid. They were slowly weakened but they still fight on. Scourdle is still blazed up as he kept on fighting Blasborg while Pentid kept on trying to beat Disker as best as he could. Kakulus used Number Blast again but Acornid dodged them but not all of them. Acornid is almost at his limit but he still doesn't want to quit the fight despite being beaten up so hard by Kakulus. Lizzie and Felicia are still guarded by three Tech-Type Starmons but they have been sneakily attacked by Shroomy, Charkid, and Splash Lad. As Lizzie and Felicia tried to escape, Dr. Zero spotted them and ordered his Tech-Type Starmons to get them back but Shroomy and the other Starmons won't let it. Then suddenly, Shroomy and everyone else had warp evolved for the very first time including the enemy Tech-Type Starmons as well. Shroomy evolved to Mushroom and fought against Kavik, Capricorn, evolved to Vidub, Charkid evolved to Blazero and challenged against Telebi, Sagittarius, evolved to Signavi, while Splashlat evolved to Aqualad and battled against Conveto, Cancer, evolved to Ramvetter. Acornid used Twin Pistol Punch but Kakulus dodged it on the left but he got hit on the right, he couldn't dodge the other because he did the simultaneous double punch. Even though Kakulus in his final form, Acornid is still keep on fighting in his second form and despite being smarter and stronger against him. All Nudid's friends triumphantly defeated the Tech-Type Starmons in their favor except Acornid, Scourdle, Pentid, Mushroom, Blazero, and Aqualad that they are still fighting their own battles. Dr. Zero's plan is about to be foiled as Lizzie and Felicia's Starmon friends are turning the tide as they start defeating his Tech-Type Starmons. In his desperation, Dr. Zero turned on the machine again and created more of his Starmons to defeat them. Kotofer screamed worst in agonizing pain as the machine started. Felicia wanted to stop the machine and save Kotofer but she had no idea what to do. Back at the forest, Scourdle and Pentid are slowly winning against Blasborg and Disker but the tables have turned as they evolved to their final forms like Kakulus. Blasborg evolved to Cyferno and Disker evolved to Croquet Disc. Meanwhile at Dr. Zero's hideout, Lizzie and Felicia are thinking a way to stop the machine suddenly. Kakulus used Number Blast but Acornid dodged it and his attack hit Dr. Zero's machine instead. His machine was destroyed and Kotofer got out but still hurt from electric torture as she is slightly burnt all over body. Felicia came to pick her up until she got grabbed by Dr. Zero in a tech suit. Lizzie tried to get her back but she was also grabbed by him. Acornid and Kakulus are both exhausted but someone still has the upper hand but which one of them has it, that's the question. Acornid used Stamp Kick and simultaneously used Pistol Punch to confuse Kakulus. It worked as he got hit by his double attack. Kakula's intellect got weakened as he was too exhausted to predict on time. Acornid was also exhausted, but he was so determined that he could defeat Kakulu's. Dr. Zero shortly called off their fight as he has Felicia and Lizzie in his grasp. He told to surrender and he shall let them go. Acornid wanted to refuse, but for their sake, he has no choice at all. As Dr. Zero handed them over to Acornid, he signaled to Kakuluz to shoot him in the back. Kakuluz used his plasma laser and shoot Acornid in the back accordingly and crashed to a huge rocks and buried on a rubble. Simultaneously, Scourdle and Pentid crashed in the rubble where Acornid was buried, and now they're buried deeper in the rubble together. Kakuluz, Cyferno, and Krikadisk had won as evil triumphs over good. Even though Mushru and the others defeated the Tech-Type Starmons, they were tired and afraid to fight Kakuluz, Cyferno, and Krikadisk. Felicia wanted to get them out of the rubble, but she was too weak to lift heavy rocks, but Lizzie might have to. She rushed to get them out of the rubble, then suddenly, she got shot on the leg by Kakuluz using a point laser. Felicia is about to help her, but she gets grabbed by Dr. Zero once again. Kakuluz, Cyferno, and Krikadisk are going to end Lizzie by killing her to accomplish Dr. Zero's first step of his revenge. Felicia begs them to stop them for killing her in tears, but she couldn't as Dr. Zero was forced to let her watch the death of her only family she had. As they are about to kill her, there's something glowing within the rubble, 3 lights glowing brighter as everyone gazes upon it. The rocks blew up, turned into tiny pebbles and hit Kakuluz, Cyferno, and Krikadisk like bullets. Even Dr. Zero got hit in the head. Miraculously Lizzie and Felicia weren't hurt. As the dust clears, revealing that Acornid, Scourdle, and Pentid have finally evolved to their final forms. Acornid evolved into Hardy Acardi, Scourdle evolved into Blazing Hothead Blazitois, while Pentid evolved into chill-laxing yet radical Penzurge. Dr. Zero was amazed yet made a shocking discovery that Starmons can evolve to their final forms. Acardi, Blazitois, and Penzurge regain mostly their strength back and they are ready to fight them back for another yet the final round. Blazitois is firing up and hitting Cyferno like being hit by a wrecking ball that caught on fire. Krikadisk used Electisks on Penzurge, but he dodged like a cool professional surfer, then used Thunder Punch and punched Krikadisk at the face. Kakuluz had enough fighting Acardi, so he used Number Blast at him, but Acardi dodged it so easily as he gained another ability called Keen Sense, an ability to sense anything without looking at it, like sensing how strong your opponents or how close they are at far distance, even predict their every move before they even make it. Acardi got stronger and faster as he used Gear V2, speed and body armament simultaneously. He overstretched his right arm and stretched back, then his arm starting to combust in flames, and punched Kakuluz right in the belly and called that move Combusto Punch. Acardi's Combusto Punch punched at Kakuluz's belly at the same time. A sudden powerful combustion just burst out from his back. It was the effect of Combusto Punch. Kakuluz's back and belly got burnt quite badly and started to weaken after their fight just moments ago, then slowly fell to the ground and admitted his defeat along with Cyferno, Krikadisk, and the Tech-Type Starmons also surrendered in disgraceful defeat. Acardi, Blazitois, and Penzurge had won their fierce fight at last, tired, weak but triumphant. Dr. Zero's plan is starting to fall apart, so he made a desperate choice to blow them up with his unstable prototype of proton grenade. As he is about to pull the pin, Lizzie intervenes as her deceased boyfriend Dr. Jimmy did before. She took the grenade from him and threw it into the portal where he placed it in his laboratory, then it exploded. Dr. Zero's laboratory and his only way back to the human world is now destroyed. He got very upset, so he tried to kill Lizzie with his bare hands until Althena and the Star Princesses arrived to help them. Dr. Zero was amazed by their beauty as he wanted to capture them, but they sealed him in hard crystal and sent him to space in an isolated planet far away from Caesar. Althena apologized for arriving late as she saw that Nudid and the first-generation Starmons had done their duty defending their homes from Dr. Zero despite their homes being merely destroyed. Lizzie is now very glad that her nightmare is finally over at last. Felicia was happy that her friends saved them once again and Dr. Zero is out of the picture. they can return back to the human world peacefully. As they all went to Sun's higher forest where her father's portal was, Felicia and Lizzie are going to say goodbye to them for the second and last time. Pensplash turned on the portal and both of them have finally arrived to their home world safely without any harm. As Torto turns off the portal, everybody is going to miss them again, but this time it will be forever, as Lizzie told them to destroy the switch before they depart so it will never be used in case Dr. Zero finds himself way back to Caesar and spotted the portal. Once they did what she told them to do, Nudid and his friends are going to miss them forever. At the human world, Lizzie and Felicia stayed in the generous motel as they needed a place to stay. Lizzie is going to find a new job to start their new lives while Felicia is starting her home class in the human world where they truly belong. Back at Sun's higher forest in Caesar, they commemorate the portal as the memorial of their departed human friends which they will never be able to see for a very long time. As 5 years passed, some of the new Starmons except the first generation Starmons were able to adapt to breed as the Star Princesses created their gender counterparts without the star marks so they could populate the Star Islands, even Muro's region. Speaking of Muro's region, Officina had finally created her guardian named Dimphrodite, Ophiuchus, and started to create more Ophiuchus Starmons secretly. Her payback from her banishment will soon begin. Then one stormy night at Alphas region, a powerful storm blows in both Sun's Higher Town and Pueblonia Town. In Sun's Higher Forest, the portal where Dr. Philip placed it got struck by lightning and somehow reactivated the portal even though the switch was destroyed. Once the portal was opened suddenly, what will be on the other side of the portal? Will it be the same human world where Lizzie and Felicia lived, or would it be the first time that it will be a different dimension? It will be found out soon enough as tomorrow is another day.